It's for protection. I've practiced with it.
Hello. The Ones Who Live star of The Walking Dead explains Nat's crucial part in the Michonne reunion. Nat talks about joining The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, the long-awaited reunion between Rick and Michonne, and other topics. In order to bring Rick and Michonne back together, Jeffers' character Nat is essential, demonstrating the level of emotional and collaborative work that goes into the production. The most well-known characters from the series return in The Walking Dead. The Ones Who Live, which promises the much-anticipated reunion of Danai Gurira's Michonne and Andrew Lincoln's Rick. In the 6-episode spin-off series, Rick is unable to free himself and return to his family since he is under the control of the Civic Republic Military, or CRM. While searching for him, Michonne encounters perils not seen in the world of The Walking Dead and forms an alliance with a special group of survivors. In the second installment of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, which carries on Michonne's 12-year storyline, Nat, portrayed by Matthew August Jeffers, is part of a convoy of survivors. Jeffers plays a significant part in the plot of the show since he is mostly in charge of helping Michonne find Rick and live long enough to do it. Even though Nat's death in the series is regrettable, it did enable Jeffers to perform with Jeremy Strong in Succession's 16-week run of An Enemy of the People on Broadway, which opened on February 27. Although Scott Gimple is a Walking Dead encyclopedia, he is open to collaboration. You brought up The Caravan, which was a really great site and a really great bunch of folks. How much information about them do you know except what I learned from watching the show? Did they tell you anything more about their past, or if there would be more of them in this world? Jeffers, Matthew August. Though I am not able to speak to the future, I believe that Scott Gimple does a fantastic job of explaining things to you in an approachable and easily consumable manner. He possesses a wealth of knowledge about this universe that is layered deep. I won't go into details because it was a year ago and everything is in my journal, but I will say that we had several sit-downs, just table work, where it felt more like theater, and we really dug into the script to learn everything there is to know about Aiden, Bailey, and their community. I found it to be really informative. He provided me with a complete description of this caravan, including their origins and activities, enabling me to integrate the broader environmental narrative with the intricacies of the character I was developing. I said to myself, okay, this is how this person fits in this world. One of my biggest concerns, I believe, was entering this very specialized field where tone is crucial. I was afraid I would arrive and cause a rift in the way this universe functions, making me stand out. The depth of Scott's expertise allowed me to truly comprehend the tone, especially for The Ones Who Live, which I believe sets itself apart from the Mothership and other spin-offs in a really lovely and cinematic way. Everything was incredibly useful and instructive. I found your character to be immediately memorable. He just has such a distinctive character. To what extent did you influence that? Jeffers, Matthew August. There are, in fact, two. You're not this other person's actor. You're dressing up as this fictionalized version of yourself, revealing aspects of who you are. With everything he says and does, there's a level of something that's how I would do it in my life and in my environment because I want to always be true to my character. That's my interpretation, and that's how I approached it as a human. However, upon returning to Scott and Danai, we were seated around that table. Scott Gimple is the kind of showrunner that every show should have because, despite his immense success and ownership of several really valuable vehicles, he's also extremely ready to give you a ride. He's genuinely interested in listening to what you have to say. Thank you for watching.